What does this victory mean for Zimbabwe cricket?
This is massive, not only for us as Zimbabwe cricket, but the whole nation. It means a lot for the youngsters. You see, we've rotated our players, new players coming in, new youngsters coming in. So it's confirmation of the hard work that the boys have been doing, putting in the last 2 seasons. And it's great for Zimbabwe cricket to come back in a strong position.
I think it's been important for senior players to lead the way. We haven't seen that for the last couple of years. Sikandar Raza has definitely shone in that way, but you talk about those youngsters that are coming into the side as well. We saw snippets of Tony Munyonga, we saw 100 first one in ODI cricket for Kaya as well.
We have always said that, going forward, as we build a new team, we build it around the senior players. And you can see that Raza has been anchoring the team, the younger players coming in, and a lot of confidence. What an important inning for Reggie. I mean, we've been looking for it to come through. Innocent Kaya, and you mentioned of Tony Munyonga. It's what we have been looking at. It's what we have been planning to see. The team being built around the senior players, and of course creating more depth. As I said earlier on, we have used 70 players in this series, which shows that we are building decent depth.
One thing that can't be left out, of course, is the fan support that's been there over the last 6 matches. That's incredible.
It's great. We started seeing this in Bulawayo during the qualifiers. We had a full house for the final game, and went back during the Bangladesh series, which has just ended. We've seen the stadium full to capacity. I mean, cricket is alive, and we're happy that the fans are back and they're enjoying the good brand of cricket that our players are exhibiting. And it's good to see the fans coming back in the stadium. You can imagine post-COVID, during COVID there was nothing, and now post-COVID to see the team playing well and the fans getting the value for their dollar. It's quite exciting.
You talk about COVID, that period, of course, not much cricket played, but there's been a lot now. South Africa to help the team prepare for the qualifiers. In Namibia, they've just now had the qualifiers. They've had Bangladesh, and results are starting to come. So that game time is crucial for the players.
It is. It has always been our cry. Even at the International Cricket Council level, we've said it. Zimbabwe needs game time. We can only get better when we play. There is nothing that can replace match practice, game time. For our A sides to play, our under 23 sides to be playing, our national team getting a fair share of the FTP. That can only make us stronger.
India in 10 days' time, then off to Australia, which will be good preparation, of course, for the T20 qualifier, World Cup. Where do you see the team in the next year or so?
We're looking forward to the India series. It's the big one. It's the big one in the calendar. And of course, when they go down under in Australia, we're looking forward to that. I think the momentum that has been built and the group of players that have been brought together now, we need to organize more bilateral cricket, more A-side. Within a year or two, we should see more consistent and a more defined group of players that will represent Zimbabwe as the chevrons. I think the future is bright. There are a lot of youngsters that have come up. And I think they can only get better with exposure to international cricket and more games.
T20 World Cup this year and 50 over World Cup next year, so lots of white ball cricket for Zimbabwe. Can we expect some test matches in the near future?
Yes, we do have test matches with New Zealand coming and West Indies coming, and probably Afghanistan. So we do have test matches. As you can appreciate, we don't have that much of test matches because of the test championship, so we don't get to play the bigger nations, so to speak, quite regularly. But in the upcoming FTP 2023 to 2031, we must have a lot of test cricket.
We'll be gender sensitive. We'll talk about the women. They've just had a 3-week tour in India where we've seen some nice results there, but also some qualifiers for them coming up for the World Cup, including the 19 women as well.
We're looking forward to our team qualifying, our ladies team qualifying. We've put a lot of effort in getting that team to be prepared. We have hired Gary Brand, and the results are starting to show. It's one of our best sides, as you can understand. We continue to support ladies cricket. As you just said, they are coming from India. They'll be going into camp shortly as they prepare for their qualifiers in Dubai in September. And what an opportunity with the Under-19 World Cup, which is in South Africa. That was what was lacking, because we just had the national team and there was no pipeline to get them to the national team. So with the under-19 World Cup coming, it means our development pipeline is then more emboldened. You know, we have domestic cricket in terms of provincial, and probably club cricket, and also looking at schools cricket for the ladies.
We'll touch on the national under-23 side in India as well for 2 months. The idea behind that?
If you remember, when we had South Africa playing here with a team in Nepal, and we've realized that we need to bridge the gap between domestic cricket and international cricket. And that is the purpose for this team that is in India, is to get a tough and hardened cricketer who has played domestic cricket, but also has exposure to other conditions. If you can imagine that the number of youngsters who played in this series, and we have got a group of youngsters playing in India, it creates a wider selection pool. So we are trying to bridge the gap between international cricket and domestic cricket.